Ready or not, it's time for another adventure, or 3, in The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Today, our mission is to tackle the Misko's Treasure Twin Manuscript, Pirate Manuscript, and the Heroines Manuscript over in West Necluda, East Necluda, and the Gerudo Highlands. Alright, boys and girls, strap yourselves in and let's crash this big ol' party. These quests will land us all 3 pieces of the Tingles set, and to find them, we're going to kick things off at the Foothills Stable in Eldin Canyon. The fastest way there is via the Kissanona Shrine, linked below. You'll find Damodok and Prisson near Suffla Lake Cave, right where you met them before you completed the Misko's Cave of Chest side quest. You do need that quest finished before this one becomes available, so if you haven't done it yet, no worries, I'll link that below too. And once all that's done, talk to Damodok, and for 100 rupees each, he'll sell us all 3 new quests. How generous. You can grab all 3 right now or come back for them one at a time. Up to you. Alright, let's get started. When you first talk to Damodok, he says he thinks he's narrowed down where those 3 old manuscripts might be referring to. And so since we're already interrupting their brotherly conversation, and we already know Prisson's going to blab the clues anyway, and Damodok's going to say we're not smart enough to figure it out, I'm gonna go ahead and do you a solid and skip most of the dialogue and get straight to the good stuff. So, go ahead and demand that he tells you what the manuscripts say, and when he hits you with the price tag, 100 rupees, tell him he's got a deal. Hand over the rupees, and now you've got some options. You can ask him about the twins, the pirate caverns, or the heroine statues. Let's start with the twins. The twins manuscript reads, I discovered the green clothes of a man who admired fairies and have hidden them away. Solve my riddle to find them anew. In West Necluda stand twins poised to duel. Each contains a cavern that faces the other. Show the little twin sign to the big twin to open the door to my treasure. And yes, our tiny little link head is just spinning. Absolutely no idea where to begin with such a ridiculous puzzle. Twins poised to duel? Where in Hyrule do we know some twins? Dueling Peaks? So let's head over to the Ishas Shrine, near Dueling Peak Stable. That one is also linked below. Now here's the thing though, we need to show one cavern the sign of the other cavern, which means that we have to actually get up to the caves on the Dueling Peaks. And that part, not super easy. I tested a few methods and here's what worked for me. Set the time to noon and hang around the stable, mess around a bit, and honestly just look up at the Sky Island above the Dueling Peaks. I don't know if it actually helps, but it felt like it did. Because falling debris started dropping pretty consistently. I got debris to fall about 99% of the time, and I used that to recall straight up to the top of the mountains. And if that doesn't work for you, no problem. You can always build a Zonai flying device. There's stuff laying around over here. Wings, steering sticks, fans, whatever you need is lying around. I even attached a cart to help mine fly with liftoff, but I did have to provide my own cart. And then fun fact, while I was doing that, falling debris landed nearby anyway, and I just used that instead. So once again, if you screw around long enough over by Dueling Peak Stable, debris will fall, and it'll get you plenty high enough for what you need. So we can get to both caverns this way. So first stop, Dueling Peaks North Cave. From the stable, this one's on the right. You'll want to be high enough to reach the upper ledge, and the cave entrance is further toward the end. Once you're on the ledge, if you just follow along, you'll end up running into the entrance. Welcome to the Dueling Peaks North Cave. Before we head in, be super duper careful. There are a couple Horriblins right inside, and they need thorough elimination. I personally like using key size to knock them down or erase them entirely, depending on your bow strength. Once they're dealt with, let's head to the back of the cave. And look up at the ceiling and voila! And you can take a screenshot if you want, but I will show you exactly what moves to make in the other cavern, and I will throw this key on screen too, so you really don't have to worry here. But I do recommend coming to this cave yourself because the bubble frog is in here, and that is tied to another quest. Okay, so we do need to get to the other cavern, so let's make our way out. And the other cavern is unfortunately all the way up there. And you can get up there however you want, but for me, the easiest was the same method I used to get here. I did try jumping across once, and I lost so much airtime, it's not recommended. But hey, your stamina bar, your life. So using the falling debris again, just glide over and this time heading to the left side. You'll see the upper ledge almost immediately, but don't hang out in the sky for too long before landing because it is kind of easy to overshoot it. So I just kind of got onto the ledge pretty right away and just followed along until I found the entrance. Kind of like I did with the other side, but I just did it a little sooner. And welcome to the Dueling Peaks South Cave. And right off the bat, you are face to face with a gross like. Ew. He also needs to be eliminated because we need to get past him. So let's shoot him in the face and then smack his gross tongue thing. And then clear the way so we can climb up. And you might be able to climb up past him if you're fast enough, but that's on you. Either way, I believe in you. You got this. But I am not responsible for any links being eaten by likes, okay? But once you were at the top, head into the big room and you will see a familiar triangle on the floor. Only this one has rocks and pressure switches. We need to match the pattern exactly. Start by grabbing the rock on the outside left corner and place it on the right corner switch on the 4th tier. Then go back to the left side. Grab the rock on the 3rd tier left switch and place it on the 4th tier 2nd switch in. Next, grab the stray rock on the right near the 2nd tier and place it directly in the center of the 3rd tier switch. Finally, take the rock on the single 1st tier switch and move it to the left switch on the 2nd tier. And dun dun, that opens the giant stone door, revealing the chest structure. Now all we have to do is go up to that chest, open that bad boy up, and claim our Tingles shirt. There once was a man who claimed to be the very reincarnation of a fairy. He treasured this shirt, and so will you. After all, it's a very rare find. Kooloo-Limpah! Slap that bad boy on your chest because the twins manuscript is complete. And now we're ready to start the next piece. Okay, so we're back at Sepla Lake Cave. When you talk to Damadoc in prison, pay them another 100 rupees and tell them that you want to hear about the Pirate Cavern Manuscript. And they will tell you that the manuscript reads, a forgotten pirate cabin lurks at the foot of Cape Kales overlooking the Necluda Sea. The short, shrill song of wind through lips will open the way to my treasure. And prison, one at a time, that's the rules. Okay. He's so funny. Anyway, before we start this one, full disclosure, we're gonna need one thing. Dazzle fruit. We're about to be dealing with stall monsters, and the easiest way to take out multiples of them at once is a dazzle fruit. And you can find plenty of them on the Sky Island near the Jinnadoc Shrine. And I will link that one below because trust me, go there. You don't even need that many of them. You will find more than what you need right there. But you really only need a handful of them, like 3. Okay, so the Necluda Sea is to the east, and so is Cape Kales. Kawinky dink. That's also where we'll find the Cape Kales cliff-based cave, and that's where we're headed. So to get there, head to the Bamatoc Shrine, and if you don't have that one unlocked, I'll link it below, but you can also use the Rebella Wetland Skyview Tower. But I, however, am going to be using the shrine route. This run, unfortunately, drops us straight into a very moist cave, so let's head left. There's a little rock formation right over there that'll let us ascend, luckily. And when you pop up on top, let's head west. That's the direction of the Cape Kales cliff-based cave. You'll need to climb a small hill, but once you're all the way over, you'll start seeing green. You can begin to glide. You can even invite Tulin out to play, because even though we do touch ground for just a smidge, we actually need to jump off this gigantic cliff, because the cave is actually at sea level. So let's make our way pretty much all the way around through Cape Kales. And it's not all the way around the front, but it's also not around the front. It's pretty far up there. So start dropping down, but not all the way. Try to stay as close to the top of the cave opening as you can. There's a little wooden board inside that you can land on. And welcome to the Cape Kales Cliff Base Cave. And you can tell I accidentally came in here once already, which is why it didn't do the do-do-do-do thing. Anyway, we need the short, shrill song of wind through lips to open this gate. That, my friends, is a whistle. So press down on your D-pad. And open sesame! And the door opens. Now, we need to get all the way in there. I recommend just attaching a rocket to this board and going forward right from here. Watch this. Bam! Right into the pirate ship. And another wooden board. I did try this with fans and steering sticks, and it was just way too much weight, and it was just a disaster. So this is why I recommend this way instead. So now that we're over here with this other board, this is what we can do. Hop on the new wooden board, and then place one board where you want to end up, and then bring it back, and then hop on. And then place the other board where you want to end up. And then recall the board you're standing on. And then you'll end up exactly where you want, and both boards stay put. I don't know if that sounds confusing. Hopefully it lines all up with the video and that this all makes sense. But this little recall trick will make it so that way everything goes where you want it to go, when you want it to go there, and you can just bridge across, easy peasy lemon squeezy. Hopefully this all makes sense. Then just do it again until you're close enough to the ship. And once you're there, hold one board high enough to jump onto the ship and then bring it back down. And we're gonna do the recall trick again. But before we do, if you want a little head start, toss a dazzle fruit into the ship. It's all bone babies in there. Then we can recall the board. And honestly, more than half of the work is already done now. Once you're onto the ship, start throwing your dazzle fruit wherever you see the bone babies. I threw a total of 3 dazzle fruit. That's it. I threw one to the right, one to the left, and that first one in the middle, that was it. Then just look for the chest hidden behind those crates. Then just open up that bad boy to claim your Tingles tights. There was once a man who claimed to be the very incarnation of a fairy. He treasured these tights, and so will you. After all, they're a rather rare find. Kooloo-Limpah! Slap those bad boys on your legs because the pirate manuscript is now complete. I also want to show you real fast why the chest wasn't in its usual chest structure. It's over here on the beach being guarded by a bone baby, and it's filled with mushrooms and garbage. And then yeah, that's basically everything that's in here, except the bubble frog. He's around here somewhere, but I'll let you find him. But in order to find the last piece of the set, we need the final clue from Damodok and Prison back at Sepla Lake Cave. So let's head to the Kissanona Shrine now. Back at Sepla Lake, if you pay Damodok and Prison that last 100 rupees and ask about the heroine statues, they'll hit you with this. Statues of the 8th heroines reside in the desert. Enter the valley carved into the Himar's descent, and shine the light of day upon the towering 8th. The paths of the treasure will open before you. The end. And that activates the Heroines Manuscript. And for this doozy, we need to head to the Gerudo Highlands. And the fastest way is via the Awesome Shrine, which of course I'll also link below. But you can also make it there from the Gerudo Highlands Skyview Tower. I, however, will be taking the shrine route. This time, we will not be in a cave. Woohoo! But it is a wee bit chilly here, so I recommend some warm clothes or some cold resistance meals. Otherwise, let's head forward. Keep going until you reach a cliff, then jump off said cliff. You'll see the statue if you look down. You'll also see the target blocking the way in. Head for the cliffside on the right. Near the debris up ahead is a Zonai mirror. Grab that and set it aside. Then come back around the other side of that debris and you'll find another Zonai mirror. We're going to need both. Bring them together and set them aside for the time being. Now, we need the light of day, so I'm going to make it morning because getting sunlight in this area is honestly more of a challenge than the puzzle itself. I found that it's basically always unconditionally snowing first thing in the morning, but the sun reliably comes out in the first hour or so. So sit at a campfire until morning and then wait for the sun. You can sit until noon, but I kept getting cloudy patches, which made it way more annoying than just waiting an in-game hour, which is basically like 5 real-life minutes. So while we wait for the sun to show up, we can rough in our mirror setup. We might also run into some trouble, so we can just handle that now. A couple of ice choo-choos may try to RSVP to this party uninvited. So let's get the first mirror in place, roughly. We want it at the peak of this hill, but not pointing at that cliff. Oh, see? Yeah, see? I told you. There's one ice choo-choo. So let's just shoot him in the eye. Free ice jellies for my pocket. I'm gonna do a quick scout to see if the other choo-choo wants to play. So I know he's around here somewhere. Okay, maybe not. Okay, but we are getting some sunshineage now. So we want this mirror facing this way, kind of pointing up, but not straight up. You don't want it too straight up in the air, otherwise it's going to be pointing too far away from where we need it to go. And we started this one at the peak of the hill, so now we want to bring it down the other side just a little bit, and that's where we want to land it. And I just need to make some minor adjustments because we don't really want to aim too high. Then we want to use the second mirror to angle the light at the target. So grab it, hold the light, and manually angle it toward the target. And just keep walking forward towards the target, and then hold it there once it starts to turn green, and you'll kind of hear the little sound. And then the gate's gonna open. Nice. All right, I'm gonna come back up here really quick to give you a better look at my mirror placement. My sun popped out and I had to hustle, so I didn't feel like I gave you a great front view earlier. Okay, so now let's head back to the statue. I'm gonna use this little wind pocket to get to the cave entrance, and you can too. Alright, once you're on the statue, we can go right inside. Welcome to the statue of the 8th heroine cave. But watch out! Right away, you're gonna be face to face with some Gibdoos. So make sure you've got an elemental material ready to make them vulnerable before you start whacking away. Otherwise, they're super resistant and you're gonna feel very ineffective very fast. Nobody wants that. And there are a bunch of them down here. But it doesn't matter what element you use, water, electricity, ice, whatever your little heart desires. And if you've got a strong enough weapon, you can make them vulnerable and then one hit them to wrap this up pretty speedy. And bonus, lots of Gibdoo bones. Love that for us. And once all the enemies are taken care of, yes, that kind of taken care of, make your way over to the chest structure. And once you get there, you'll notice that, oh my goodness, another obstacle. It's buried under the sand pile. We need to clear that, so grab a fan and blow that sand pile away. Easy peasy. Then move the fan the heck out of the way. Open up that bad boy to claim our Tingles hood. There once was a man who claimed to be the very reincarnation of a fairy. He treasured this hood, and so will you. After all, it's a rather rare find. Kooloo-Limpah! Now slap that on your head because the Heroines Manuscript is now complete. And you officially have the entire Tingles set, you beast! Kooloo-Limpah! And if you're ever stuck or need help with any adventure or quest or shrine or any other video, feel free to reach out right here in the comments on Instagram, Facebook, or on Discord. I am always happy to help. Huge thanks to my Patreon supporters. Your support means the world. And if you'd like to join in and get some extra goodies, check out my Ko-fi or Patreon pages. And if this walkthrough helped you out, give that like button a little tap, hit subscribe for more gaming goodness, and spread the word to your fellow adventurers. Got any questions or thoughts? Drop them in the comments below. I am all ears. Until next time, this is KKJinxx, over and out.